Hey guys, so today we are going to be looking at shape. And just a reminder that shape is one of the elements of art. So when we're talking about the elements of art, it's the building blocks or the ingredient I like to use is if your artwork was something that you were cooking, then the elements would be the ingredients that you would be using to make whatever you're cooking. So here they all are again. Again, we're looking at one per week. And this week we're looking at shape. So when we're talking about shape, you're thinking about a two-dimensional enclosed space with boundaries defined by other elements of art. So we'll look at what that means. But whenever we're talking about shape, it's two-dimensional, okay? So when we're talking about form down the line, that's three-dimensional. Shape is two-dimensional. So here's the definition again, two-dimensional enclosed space with boundaries defined by other elements. So you can see a color can define it. If you filled in the space with color, a line can define it. You can see that outline. A refresher from last week, that would be a contour line in that circle. And then there are two basic kinds of shapes. So very simplified, when we are talking about 2D shapes, they can usually fall into one of two categories, and that is geometric or freeform or organic. Some people say freeform, some say organic. It means the same thing. So we're going to look at those two examples. On the left here, you'll see some examples of geometric shapes, and on the right, you'll see organic. So right away, you could start to see the difference. This might be a review for some of you that were in my class. I think it was last summer when we were looking at these. So when we're talking about geometric shapes, these are regular shapes that can be created with mathematical formulas. So these are shapes that we know, like squares, triangles, hexagons, stuff that you can measure out. You would use a ruler or a compass for. Another way you can think about it is stuff that you would study in geometry class. If you guys have taken geometry before for math, all those shapes that you use has the same beginning of the word, right? Geometric. Those are geometric shapes that can be studied, measured. Some more examples here. And then when we're talking about free form or organic shapes, I like to call them organic shapes, but it's really up to you. It means the same thing. And these are not defined mathematically. So we wouldn't be able to like find the surface area or measure the diameter. And maybe you could for some parts of it, but they are irregular and they have irregular contours. So again, there's that word contour, that means outline. So some examples of organic shapes, and then also using that word trick. So in geometric, we could tie that to geometry, which is math, right? Organic, think about what you think of right away when you hear the word organic. You usually think about, for me at least, I think about produce and food and plants. Okay, so another way to think about organic could be shapes that you find in nature, okay? And a lot of times, stuff that you find in nature is not perfectly symmetrical, it's not perfectly formed with hard edges. A lot of times it's kind of soft and curvy. That's organic shapes. So you can think about your hand, your body, right? You are a geometric, or I'm sorry, you are an organic shape, right? Because you're a living, breathing thing and you don't have hard edges. All these things you find in nature, organic shapes. Okay, so super simple shapes. Again, just one of these building blocks of art. And we will continue to look at these. So you are filling out your video review for this video and the YouTube video as well. And that should be all the information you need for shape.